Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back in another video. I know I do these, I write in a strange punctuation and stuff like that, so please me for the title and all that kind of thing. Hope some people out there enjoy it anyway, but as ever, please leave your comments, and I hope I repeat myself too much. But anyway, getting on to the point, it's another one of my list videos. For those who don't know, Room 101 is a fictional sort of place where people imagine putting things that they can't stand. I don't want to hate anything, but in fact, hate would be probably one of the things. But anyway, I don't want to give too much away, but I'll probably come to that point. But yeah, so these are things that in my case, I'd probably say things that I would like to see less of, or that I'm not too fond of. I don't know if I'd get rid of them completely, because I think it takes all types to make the world. So I don't know if I'd completely get rid of these things in some cases, but I would certainly have a lot less of them, or that kind of thing. So some of them I might get rid of completely if I could, but some of them are just things that I would have less of. So anyway, here goes. So number one would be, I know some people like this sort of stuff, but weddings, that would be something I'm not too keen on. I don't like being told what to wear. I was thinking, I suppose, if you look at something like a football, which I love, I suppose normally you wear a certain uniform or kit, which is kind of like a uniform, but I don't like being told what to wear or where to stand or things like having so many rules. It's one of the things I gotta admit I wish God never made personally as well. But yeah, so I don't know if I'd get rid of them completely, because I think they might work for some people, not many really, because if you look at the divorce rate and then you look at how many people are also unhappily married but still stick together for whatever reasons, or because it's more convenient. So yeah, that's something I'm not a big fan of personally, even though I believe in God and all that. But anyway, on to the next point. Number two is marriage generally. Again, another thing, like the thought of living with someone for the rest of my life or something like that, it's not something even though I probably do get lonely in some ways, but not like a way most people do. Or I think that's more of a female thing, maybe, even though I'm quite effeminate. But I think like, yeah, just the thought of sharing my house or my space, especially my problems, like my hoarding problems and mental health problems, but just generally like getting into arguments or people nagging at you or things like that, and seeing the worst in people, I think is not something I'd be too keen on. So yeah, I'd love to live by myself and all that. So yeah, weddings and marriages are two things I would love to see put into Room 101. Again, I don't know if I completely get rid of them, but there's things I would like to see less of, or love to see less of. Number three would be monogamy itself, perhaps, or anything that I think takes away freedom as well. I normally like these patterns, so because it's point number three, I'd say things that take away people's freedoms, like too many rules or laws or things like that. Number four, on that note, force, things that force people to do things they don't want. I'd have as little as that as possible, and as much freedoms as possible, as many freedoms as possible. There's not many rules or laws I really believe in, but I believe in very few rules, or very few laws really. And also formal relationships, I normally replace the P for a T. So if you're old enough to work that out, I'm sure you'll work it out. But I know I like to keep my language clean on these videos normally, except for the ones I specifically make, where I hope to make in the future, where I'll probably say whatever comes to my mind. But yeah, I do try to keep them family friendly. So if you can work that out, yeah, I replace the P for a T, so if you can spell that. But yeah, so formal relationships, I'm not a big fan of things that are formal anyway, generally speaking, although I have my strange sort of OCDs and patterns and all that, so in a way I'm sort of contradicting myself. But so as I say, formal relationships. Number five would be hell itself, to be honest. I hope God forgives me for this one, and these, well, all my ideas really, because or at least many of my ideas, because people might argue that, or God might argue that I'm like sort of going against or disagreeing with his rules, but I think like the thought of eternal suffering or stuff like that, is eternal damnation or torture or torment, is a terrifying thought. It's not something I'd wish on to anyone really. Even maybe I'd wish for people to get like me, to me personally, as close to perfect. I think nothing in this world is perfect. I don't know if perfection exists really, but the closest thing to perfect, or the best justice system I can think of, is like based on emotion and intention. So like I think people who mean to cause suffering, I think they deserve, although a part of me would love to see everyone be happy overall, but yeah, I think that anything that makes people suffer more than they can bear, or for longer than they can bear, even the most evil people, I probably won't wish that onto. even people like Hitler or Bin Laden or people like that. I think it'd be great if people felt the emotions they caused. But I know, again, I also believe intent is important. So if you could always mean well, but you could get into a car and mean to do something positive, but accidentally run someone over or something like that. So I think it's also intent, which to me is very important as well. Number 6, I think probably part jokingly I'd say hard work, because I'm not a very hard working person. But again, this is probably something not that I'd get. I think the only thing I'd probably get rid of completely would probably be hell, or anything that made people suffer more than they can bear. Sorry, but in terms of hard work, I don't think I get rid of them completely. But if I can find smart ways to do stuff, and to me the difference between smart or hard work is that smart work is something you actually enjoy. So even if it's challenging, whereas hard work is stuff that you don't really want to do. And I suppose some people say if you want to do well in life, in business or any other area, where you've got to work hard. In other words, do things you don't want to do to achieve and like sweat and things like that. But I think if it's something that is like the British runner Mo Farah, I think, said in an advert for healthy eating, like when healthy eating tastes healthy, when healthy food tastes nice, sorry, it doesn't feel like it's healthy eating, it just feels like something nice. And I think that's what I see the difference between smart work or lazy. It's still you're taking action, you're still working on stuff, but it's not hard work. It's, if you enjoy it, I'd class that as smart work, in my opinion. That's how I see smart work. So I don't know how other people see it. But yeah, so again, it's not something I completely get rid of, but it's something, if I could get away with just working smart myself, I'd leave hard work for other people, or running around for other people, generally speaking, perhaps. But I do like things that challenge me, just also stuff that I enjoy. Number 7, probably my own memory loss in a way, but although there's, I know there was a point I was going to say, but I can't quite remember it. But yeah, so again, things that make people suffer more than they can bear. I think that was the point I was going to say for number 7. So anything that makes people suffer more than they can bear, I'd love to get rid of that as well. Number 8, hate itself. Like if I could help it myself, certainly I would never want to hate anyone or anything. Easier said than done, because I was thinking, like, if you think of something like child abuse or animal abuse or anything like that, heaven forbid, it's like, how can you love children or animals and not hate what makes them suffer, if you know what I mean? But if I could help it, as I say, I would never hate anyone or anything. Easier said than done. Maybe dislike some things, or even strongly dislike some things, but never hate. But I don't. Again, it's another thing that I don't know if I'd completely get rid of, or just something that I'd get rid of from my own life, or at least limit. So I think I'd rather say love rather than hate, even though I'm not into formal romance or something like that. Formal romance, that was. Number 9, waste. I think that's one reason. Well, I know it's one of the reasons why I hoard a lot, is because I love to make use of things. I'd love to see everything in the world have some sort of be used to its best potential. So like I don't like waste of potential, or waste of time, or waste of opportunities, or waste of things as well. So I'd love to see how they could be recycled or made into things, rather than just be destroyed or just thrown away or whatever. And I suppose there's only so much space in the world to avoid some things having to be got rid of or wasted or whatever. But yeah, that's one reason why I'm a hoarder, I suppose, is like I like to make use of things, especially like I hoard papers and things like that. So I never like to see paper or hear of paper getting ripped or torn or burned or damaged or anything like that. So that's another one of my pet peeves. And number 10, I suppose, things that make children or animals suffer, especially. Again, I know in life you have to take the rough with the smooth. I wouldn't get rid of suffering completely, but I'd certainly limit it as much as possible. And again, or for me, all living things would be happy overall, and I'd be gifted, and life would be a gift, and suffering would be limited, and like overall it'd be worth it, like for the good times, if you know what I mean. So even the bad times, the rough with the smooth, but the smooth times would make the bad times worth it. So again, anything that makes any living thing suffer more than they can bear, especially vulnerable people or innocent people, or children or animals especially. Again, these are certainly things I would limit. If I wouldn't get rid of them completely, I'd at least limit them. So I hope you enjoyed this video as ever, and please leave your likes if you'd be so kind, and comment and share the video if you would be kind enough to do so. And I appreciate your views and support, and I'm out. Peace out.